You must learn to sacrifice in one area to be able to reap the rewards in another. So operate in reality instead of trying to cope with it. Learn to accept reality instead of trying to cope with it.
Let's go!
What's good, everyone? Just been getting after it for the day, you know what it is. And I hope all you guys out there are doing just the same. Continuing on this journey to be able to create better individuals to give back to your dogs and your family units. Now, I wanted to jump on here and speak to you about and ask you the question of whether or not you're operating in reality or are you just coping with reality? You need to be able to understand the difference because there's a big difference between the two. If you're not operating in reality and you haven't found a way to be able to accept reality for what it is, well, what is it that you're really doing? You're just coping with it. You're living your existence behind a system of coping mechanisms where you're lying to yourself, where you're lying to your peers, where you're lying to your children. You're lying to the people around you that you claim to love and care for. Now I'll tell you what, I know what trajectory that's going to lead you to. Wouldn't you rather be able to operate in reality rather than have to lie and deceive yourself to why reality should be bending and mending itself around your different states of emotion? I'm sorry, the world don't work like that. Reality is for what it is. Reality is not going to change for what it is. So it's going to be a lot more beneficial if we as the individual can learn to operate within it rather than lie to ourselves and deceive ourselves and trying to cope to why we think reality should be bending itself around what we want or what we feel like. The world don't work in such a way. This is why we need to be able to keep it real with each other. So let me give you an example. You can see I'm fit, I'm strong. But imagine if I was just trying to cope with reality. Oh, I've got one arm. It's hard for me to train. You don't know what it's like, but you wouldn't know. Sound familiar? What do you think I'm doing with that? I'm trying to appease that bitch shit within myself. I'm trying to appease my weakness. I'm trying to appease my incompetence of why I don't want to face the challenge to be able to create a fitter, stronger, healthier body and mind. A more resilient mind. I'm running away from the challenges that are attached to this. I'm coping rather than being able to face it and do what I actually did. We'll say, okay, this is the reality that the world has given me. This is the reality that I exist in. Yes, I'm missing half my arm, but how can I work around this? How can I still get after it to be able to push myself both physically and mentally to be able to create a fitter, stronger, healthier body? You see the difference? One's trying to cope and validate my excuses to why I should be let off the hook. And the other just accepts reality for what it is and says, Roger that, I get it. What can I do to work around this to make it work regardless? Because I do not want to fall under this trap and hold myself prisoner to a bunch of coping mechanisms that are not going to be beneficial to my own existence. So really have a think about it, because I guarantee you that self-talk about the coping mechanisms that I just used, that so many of you out there would still validate and still accept within who you are and still accept and validate within your own circles and families. Would be like, oh, I get it, it's okay. Yeah, it would be tough. No, there's other stuff I can do to work around it. Operate in reality rather than trying to operate within the validation of these different coping mechanisms. You see how familiar it sounds? Oh, you don't understand. Oh, but you don't know what it's like. We've all heard that shit before. But we need to be able to separate ourselves from this, because you know what? I don't care what you say. It is not okay. So what if you're tired? You need to get out and you need to be able to work the body. Same thing with our dogs and our children. They still need to get out. That is your responsibility that you chose to take on. That you are obligated to be able to conduct your mannerisms, to be able to conduct yourself behind for the better, to be able to provide a quality of life. Yes, I get it. We're tired after work. But what? Does that mean you spend no quality time with your family? Your kids miss out? Your dogs miss out? You're tired after work, but your dog's been sitting at home all day and you're not going to do anything or partake in any type of activities with your dogs? But we don't understand. You're tired. You think other people do not operate within the same reality that you do? We are all living within this same fucking world. Understand it for what it is and hold your personal conduct to something better, to a higher standard, rather than existing and validating these different coping mechanisms that you have attached yourself to, because that is good for nobody. You see how one is counterproductive and the other one is productive? One's going to lead you down a downhill trajectory. One's going to lead you towards competence, confidence, self-respect, to be able to earn your self-respect, your happiness, your self-esteem, to be able to create true conviction in who you are and what you stand for. Get rid of the mental gymnastics attached to this concept. Learn to operate within reality. Understand that you must sacrifice in one area to be able to benefit and reap the rewards in another. Let me give you another easy example to do with sleeping and sleep patterns, or eating. I'll start with the sleep patterns first. Some of you people want to sit there on your fucking devices all night. I'd like a coffee right now. And then you have your coffees later on towards the PM. And then you wonder why you have trouble sleeping. You do not partake in any type of physical activity throughout the days and you wonder why you have trouble sleeping. You want to stay up on your phone, scrolling, wasting time on social media or watching movies. And then you wonder why you have trouble sleeping. You wonder why you feel shit in the morning. You want to have a better sleep? Maybe eat better. Lay off the caffeine in the later hours of the day. Learn to get some exercise in, to drain that physical and pent-up energy that you have stored up in your body, so that your body and your mind actually need the rest. Understand it for what it is. When you do this and you hold yourself accountable to this, you are going to be able to rest and sleep better at night. Get rid of the screens. Get rid of the fake lights. And you'll feel a lot better in the morning. You'll be able to wake up as a morning person. You'll be able to wake up with a clearer state of mind. Eating. Make better food choices. You wonder why you're fat, you're sloppy, you're lazy. You wonder why you lean into procrastination and all you do is eat shit. Fast food takeout, consuming empty calories, consuming preservatives, consuming chemicals on top of chemicals. The fuck is wrong with you? And you wonder why your body and mind is out of whack? You must learn to sacrifice in one area to be able to reap the rewards in another. So operate in reality instead of trying to cope with it. Learn to accept reality instead of trying to cope with it. There's a big difference between the two. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to share with you some videos of my gym workouts throughout the week, and I hope that can help inspire you and motivate you to be able to create better individuals to gift back to our dogs and our family units. Peace.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Do this for King King!